Welcome to the weekend show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was in a meeting with management, the management for the weekend show. I'm just the host. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. Oh, so much people. And a lot of suits trying to talk to me, trying to tell me how the direction of the show needs to flow. They just they sat me down, right? They sat me down and they came in with these three-piece suits. And is a chilly office, penthouse suite, corner suite, nice view and everything. You could see the whole city. And they just said, "Hey, listen, like the way this show's going, it's picking up some steam, right? Like I didn't notice, right? I'm just the fucking host. I'm just the guy doing this. I'm the guy doing it. I'm sorry. I fucking take some notice in my own show, right? Like they don't know." And they sat me down and they said, we need to rebrand the show, right? Like I'm like, yo, we finally picking up some shit. And the guys in the fucking office, typing away on the rating. They're like, we gotta do a little bit more of this Joe Rogan experience. We're rebranding the fucking podcast. And they said, like with podcasts, I tried to tell them, like, you just keep going at it. It's just a constant, you're swinging. Some days you hit that ball out of the park. Some days you swing and it's a miss. That's just how my show goes. And the suits got so angry. They got so mad because they said, "Hey, we need a tried and true method." And they said, "Nothing is more tried and true than a sequel." You know what I'm saying? They said we need to do a sequel to and I go, dude, like, do you guys not get that a podcast can't be, like, what are you going to do, a sequel to a podcast? Like, are we rebooting a fucking podcast? What, should we do prequels to this podcast then? And I just was shitting on them. Like, and they're, like, writing down notes, like, yeah, that's something that we could do. Like, and then rebrand it, we'll do reboots, we'll do the animation version of the podcast. And I was like, dude, what are you guys saying? Speaking in foreign language. Anyways, welcome to the Weekend Show 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. The suits got me. This show sucks. And to be honest, this show fucking sucks. Ever since those guys in office took over, right? Because, like, what I wanted the Weekend Show to be, with my former co-host, he left because of, he's dissing my fridge and shit. What I wanted the Weekend Show to be was to be a parody podcast. Like, it was just like almost like a let's get canceled podcast. It was supposed to be something that shouldn't really exist on the internet as far as like being on YouTube. So it's like, hey, check out my podcast. And in my podcast is, well, isn't it weird having sex with Asian chicks? That's like, come down to the podcast and it's like, man, I really want to fuck an East Indian chick today. You know what I'm saying? You think that pussy tastes like curry? Like, that's what the podcast was gonna be. Like, it was just literally like, all right, guys, here's a podcast. And it was literally just saying garbage shit. It was just trying to be the most offensive and the most outlandish, outrageous inner dialogue with me and XLG, and then soon enough me. And it was just my rants of the day. To be honest, it was like, all right, welcome to the Weekend Show. It's like the Daily Show, guys. It's pretty much the same thing, except we're gonna do no news at all. And it slowly developed into this weird thing where my friends wanted to get on, and when I got my friends on, it became normal. It became a more normal podcast. And I can't tell you guys how much I hate that in my heart deeply, that it became a podcast, like an actual thing. And then we hired some people in the back, and now we suddenly got a team, and we suddenly got the people, the suits talking. We got an ad executive, we got motherfuckers waiting to do guest spots, and I want to blow my brains out, because this whole thing was supposed to make fun of, like, we watched the Joe Rogan Experience, and let's just do that. Let's just do him, but like the opposite. Instead of trying to get the correct information out, and trying to get the right things to talk about and the right things to question, how about we do the opposite? We do complete misinformation, it's things that you can't trust, make the viewer feel unsafe. That's ultimately my goal, is to make someone watching this podcast go, all right, 911, I am in danger. That's like the ultimate goal, to tie up the police. That way, my secret business, my secret drug laundering money business, go, because the cops are held up when people listen to the weekend show and make the phone call to the police. Now they're all tied up, and then me and my niggas across the city, we just move a lot of drugs all around the city, right? But the way the direction of this show went, it's almost like it's gotten to a point where, and I hate the fact that it's gotten to a point where it's actually a podcast, where it should have been like a parody podcast. I fucking hate it. I hate that, like, I come on the podcast and I go, like, okay, what can we talk about today? What's the topics of the day? Like, it's actual news and radio broadcasting and shit. And I hate that. Like, who wants to hear, by the way, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. Like, who gives a shit? Who cares, really? Like, dude, he bought 10% of Twitter, though. I cannot stress enough how fucking, like, first of all, let's run down the list. Okay, let's break down Elon Musk. He's a fucking loser, dude. Let's just say it off the rip, bro. Like, this guy sucks. This guy's stupid. First of all, how you ain't come from the slums or anything like that, bro. You came from Africa, but the South Africa, the white side of Africa. Your mom owned a fucking mineral mine. You know what I'm saying? Your mom owned fucking a fucking emerald mine. Like, this motherfuckers had slaves, right? That's strike number one. Elon Musk, his biggest thing he's known for is Tesla, right? First of all, let's just break down even the metaphor itself, the name. Where'd you get the name from, Tesla? For Tesla, Elon Musk. This guy that was the creator of, like, the light bulb and the alternating currents, right? Or something like that, yeah. Tesla was the guy that created alternating currents. And ultimately, a lot of his reward, his hard work was rewarded to Thomas Edison, right? Now, to celebrate this guy, what did you do? You named your company his name. It's so, like, everyone that associates his name, people go, nah, Tesla, that's Elon Musk, right? No, the actual inventor, Tesla. You go, who are you talking about? You mean Elon is the guy that... And Elon didn't even really make fucking Tesla cars. Let's just throw that out there. That's a bombshell. The biggest thing that he did that I could say is pretty fucking his original idea is that he tossed a car into space. I don't think anyone did that. It had absolutely no impact on the economy. It had no impact for the future of our nation. It had no impact on, to be honest, he's just throwing junk out. He just threw a car out into space. That's it. What was it? It was playing a Rocket Man by a fucking, or maybe David Bowie's fucking Moon Age Daydream. To be honest, it's not that good of an idea anyways. It's original. You give him that. But okay, I'm gonna run down the list of what else did he do. The Boring Company, right? Now, he builds tunnels. That's it. Let's just... it is what it is. Let's put that out there. For what it's worth, he fucking digs tunnels, dude. Is that the so he saw a groundhog dig in a tunnel and he thought, you know what, let's fucking do that but big, bro. Let's do that. It's big on big. This groundhog ain't gonna get the best of us. That's what his direct competition is, groundhogs, you know. His, you know, fucking beavers with the dam stopping the flow of water, which ultimately, you know, the renewable energy and all. Again, dude, like, very primitive shit. SpaceX, rocket ships. That's it. You just, how hard is it to call up a couple dudes and be like, yo, send a rocket to space, bro. You fucking nerds, get some money. Here you go. Here's some cash. And just send a rocket into space, bro. That's it. That's all he did. That's all he does. That's all Elon Musk does. What else does he do? This Skynet or whatever, you know, Neuro Sky, the Wi-Fi for everybody. Fucking sucks, dude. Have you ever tried his Wi-Fi, dude? Shit loses. Shit. It's better to use my own fucking data, dude. Dude, this Wi-Fi is like McDonald's Wi-Fi, bro. Because the whole world's on it, so it sucks. You're just like, dude, you're like loading one video on Instagram trying to see a girl twerking, and you go, is she got the video in slow motion? Because it's fucking choppy, bro. And yo, and this isn't like me hating on Elon. You could say like, yo, I actually fucks with the nigga. I actually fucks with that nigga. But when he came out and said this shit about Neuralink and shit, like brains, like we got to get the brains to be better. I go like, yo, our brains are fine enough as is. Big shot, you know. These tech guys always want to put things in your body and shit, you know what I'm saying? And that should be suspicious, right? Because like, yo, this is a chip in your brain, and yeah, sure, yeah, it'll make you smarter, faster, stronger. But everything has a price in life. I don't think you're just gonna be like that instantly better. I think it's gonna come with significant, probably health defects. It'll have to. There's no trade-off. Every action, you know, what is it? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction to it. With highs comes lows, and with lows comes highs. And I think with Elon Musk, there's a lot of lows. You know what I mean? I don't think they get ever published. And again, this isn't really a bit. I actually really feel like this. I really feel like Elon Musk is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I want a billionaire that can. He doesn't look like he could take a punch. You know. And maybe if worse comes to worse, I'll fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Tell Elon Musk to set his autopilot drive to a car, and I'll fuck him up, man. But I don't know. I'll just throw that out there. It's like, I don't really fucks with Musk. It's on sight if I see him. I mean, he's to be honest, he's a fairly good guy. He's a decent guy. But this whole thing of like making humanity better is gonna cost. I feel like it's gonna cost something in the long run. Like something, like stop trying to be better, bro. Like just live life, man. And you can't really trust a guy that wants to do so much for the world. And he himself, you know what I mean? Like he got divorced like 3 times, dude. Like let's just, you can't even, you know, control a chick, you know what I'm saying? Those bitches on a leash, bro. You got the money. You got the fame and the power. But instead, you're fucking around with fucking Bitcoin. The best thing his family's done, though, is mining, to be honest. Is mining Bitcoin. That's literally where all Tesla's profits come from. Just throw that out there again. These aren't bombshells. These are stuff that you could look up in the news, dude. Like, his family owns fucking slaves. What are we talking about? Anyways, if I die, it's probably because of Musk. Probably if I die today or tomorrow or the next day, it's probably Musk. Any other day after that is probably my fault, dude. That's probably someone else, one of my other enemies that I made throughout the course of the week. But I feel like with the weekend show, to get back onto the subject, we might have to do 2 episodes a week now. I think the whole goal in this thing is, instead of doing sequels, I'll maybe, because more and more people want to be on the show. More of my friends are like, yo, let's get on this shit. And got a lot of people waiting in line. There's a queue now. There's like a queue, legitimately, and I have to just keep. And as soon as someone does a podcast, they're like, I can't wait to get back on. And then they got their friends, and their friends want to be on. So it's getting to a point where it's like snowballing. And I actually I'm excited, to be honest. But I also am going to miss the solos. Like, I really love solo shit. I really love doing this right now. Because I get to explore thoughts that no one else would want to talk about. I get to explore my own brain, and I get to talk about, the daily rituals that, people go through. Moving on, to a better subject. I feel like this whole cancel culture thing is interesting, because I've tried my hardest on this show to get canceled. And with, let's talk about it. Luis C.K, he got this an award, for the Grammys. What is it? The best comedy special, best comedy album last year, or 2020. It's interesting because they really threw him to the wolves, and it goes to show, like, with the critics and with the actual there's like a disconnect between the critics and what the fans want, and the regular people, to be honest. To tell it like it is, man. We want to hear somebody get up on stage and just spit their mind. We want to hear someone get on stage and tell something with, some, either if it's stories, jokes, whatever. Like, we want it to be interesting, and we want to be entertained. And I think since society has gotten so bogged down and so watch what you say and watch what you do, and there's still people to this day wearing masks, like, even though they ended COVID, they're like, COVID's done, dude, like, fuck it, you can wear a mask if you want, if you don't, fuck it, we don't. Everyone that got the vaccine, and everyone that didn't, and we just said, fuck it, dude, like, fuck it. Like, they just really did say fuck it, though. And I think to this day, there's still so many people rocking masks, even like, it's like, it's a fear-mongered society that we're living in nowadays. And to go the opposite route, the weird thing, because Mediumjay, my name's Mediumjay, so I like to play it down the middle. I'm seeing both sides, and it's weird, man, because there's the real motherfuckers that just are like deep in the fucking government psyops and the government mind control, the government fucking daily ritual of, like, whatever is in the front page news is what we need to get angry about, whether it's Ukraine and Russia, Will Smith smacking a motherfucker, so. Well, so shouts out to Chris Rock, but I don't know. Didn't mean to call you a motherfucker. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. Like, the Kyle Rittenhouse shit, the Travis Scott stuff, all of this stuff, the metaverse, even that's not picking up steam, but all of that stuff that's in the public zeitgeist is, there's the people that just constantly, whatever it is, they're just whatever the government says we can do, we do, right? And it's weird how like the public is like in the palm of the government's hands, as far as that there's a whole group of people that do that, and on the other end there's a whole group of people that no matter what the government says, the government can say just wash your hands, and be like, fuck that, dude, fuck that, they're telling me to wash my hands, this is freedom. We're fighting for freedom and shit. And it's like, yo, where did sensible, rational people go? Where? Are they just all quiet? Did they leave? Did they go to Mars? You know what I mean? Did Elon Musk send the reasonable, down to earth people to Mars? Because it feels like there's either two types of people that I've constantly interacted with. There's the guys that are like, I don't trust shit the government says, and there's the, you must be stupid if you're not listening to the government. Like, come on, guys, come on, we're all in this together, you know. And it's like, then yeah, it's the constant battle of, and it really worries me, right? When a person that parodies reality, I make fun of reality so much. So whatever is in the public zeitgeist, I try to take the opposite approach, or I try to take a ridiculous, overzealous, blown out of proportion, hyperbole, over exaggerated character of this subject, right? We're breaking down exactly what I do, but the thing that sucks is now the most ridiculous you could be right now is to do the exact opposite of what the crazy people on the media are doing, which essentially is to just say, hey, listen, men are men, women are women, right? Let's be honest. There's biologically, there's two genders. This is fucking hate speech, right? This is basically saying the worst thing, or like this. Maybe we should let women choose the right to have an abortion, right? This is fucking still the hardest thing. Yeah, everyone should get married. Is a mind-numbingly exhausting experience to deal with, and to just say, listen, if people should have the rights to protect themselves with whatever firearms they choose, right? That is fucking also ridiculous. People should, obviously, crazy people, there should be some sort of background check on guns. And feels like even the gun guys are like, man, there's way too much laws already. And I feel like, there's laws in place because it does make sense, right? There are a lot of guns on the street already. But if a crazy person wanted to be crazy, you use that machete, dude. I don't know. If you wanted to really kill somebody, you can really kill somebody. But, with the public, yeah, maybe trans women shouldn't be involved, trans, biological males that transitioned shouldn't go into sports. That's literally the craziest thing you can say, right? What else is a fairly normal approach to life, but I like to exercise every now and then, and I feel bad if I don't, and it's not really shaming anybody, but I don't want to be this heavy. I feel a bit heavier than normal after a little bit of pandemic weight, right? Constantly fat shame, don't fat shame. And with the vaccine, it's like people hey, listen, I feel like people do have the right to choose what they put into their body, right? And it's already being subsectioned off to what you can put in your body. I really don't know where the fucking meat that where does the steak that I get from the grocery store come from? Where does the salmon? It could be faux pas salmon. I don't know. They could already be, if I go buy a fucking McGriddle from McDonald's, they could just be like, oh dude, it's already genetically made. But we're just not gonna tell anybody. I don't know, man. It feels fucking real as possible, but it could be fake. This fucking... It must be a weird thing, because if somebody just accidentally makes one of those plant-based burgers and they're like, oh shit, I accidentally put it into the real burger, right? I don't know. What? You probably wouldn't notice. A lot of people say it's kind of shittier than real meat. But again, one of the mind-blowing fucking sayings that you could have nowadays is, I think I prefer to eat just meat. And this is fucking, meat is murder. I like to wear fur. You know, it makes me feel like a hunter gatherer, like way back, and it's affecting my like caveman lizard brain, and I like to wear fur, real fur. You know, it makes me feel like pillaged a forest for a fox, and you know it's fucking hard to catch some foxes or something like that. So you know I'm wearing fucking fur in this bitch. Terrible take. You know that's terrible. You know. Medical decisions. The weird thing is is the libertarian parties. You know, like the libertarian where it's like we just want less government in office, right? Like we feel like there's enough things in place, right? That I don't think we need how many politicians per city. I think one mayor should do the trick. One guy, you know, with his cabinet. You know, we don't need to fucking have all these other guys. You know, these you know, what is it? A city mayor. You know, city councils. You know, the executive board of directors guys, the school, and then the guys of the schools divisions. You know, the Parks and Recreation is a funny show, but in reality, a lot of those people didn't need to work there. Oh. And I know it's a comedy show, and it's supposed to be taken like it's with a joke, but that Ron Swanson character had kind of the same approach that I feel like most people do have. It's like a lot of this stuff is useless. The government's useless. They tell you can't build a fucking wheelchair ramp on your own property when you're in a wheelchair, so you can't even get into your own house. You need to wait 3 weeks. A lot of that stuff ruins not just the individual person, but it ruins the perception of the government in itself. Is this, we have all these people in place, we have all of these men and women, you know, walking around in suits, and it seems like they're just leeching off of society's money. Like society's they're generating taxes, right? And we make all this money with taxes. Everybody's working. We all have to work, and then taxes come out, and the regular people pay taxes. Billionaires don't pay taxes. If you're rich enough, you don't pay taxes. You're a company, you don't pay taxes. Somehow you can escape when you make enough money, right? So when you pay these taxes, right, there's always going to be money. So taxes are always going to go up because they need more money. The politicians need a pay raise. So if it's a weird thing to say like, yo, why don't, because we already have a good system. A lot of this stuff could be AI. A lot of it. The taxes already could be AI coming out of the bank accounts, and then just dole the money into what is needed. It could easily be an AI. You don't need a secretary of treasury. It could be AI. A lot of this stuff where it's like they're looking at putting, you know, the Autobots. You know, the Autobots roll out and just release all the truck drivers, you know, of their duties. But I don't think that they would have to have like a Terminator bot, because the truck drivers ultimately, most of them, well, not most of them, but a good percentage of them get into the back of the truck and start delivering, you know, the places, and it's always different all the time, right? If you're a city driver, you go and deliver to, you know, it's specific. I don't like. You'd have to have a real. Someone manning the robot to go specifically to spots, because I highly doubt that the AI is going to be so well, like once it's time to take over the job, even then you'd have to have a specific humanoid robot, almost as good as like Ex Machina level, where it's deceptive, you know, and it lies and cheats and steals, kind of like your average, cement truck worker or whatever. I don't know. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, there's no kids playing on the cement, boss. We're good. I'm going for a break. I don't know. But the idea of having the government is stupid. It's the stupidest idea ever if you think about it, right? You think about how much that they do, and you go, all right, I guess, doling out money for the police, firefighters, and fucking the ambulances is great, right? After that, though, let's be honest. Like after the services, the healthcare or postal work, after the services are done, the roads are, you go, where does all of this money go? Like as far as we're not thinking of like military. Let's be honest, dude. Like, could we just throw out the military budget? Like, it's just nukes now. Like, in all honesty, isn't it just nukes? Like, it's all just nukes. It's like, yo, I got nukes. I got all these nukes. All right, don't make me use them. That's it. That's all That's all everybody's military is. Like, what other than? Hopefully, these guys don't invade us like they are doing in Ukraine. But even then, like, yo, a lot of this shit is just bombs. You're just dropping bombs. So it's like, who's got the biggest bank account to just drop bombs on these motherfuckers? I don't know. Like military, not really needed. You could throw that budget out. Because, dude, to be honest, if we do go to war with like China or I mean, if Russia gets antsy, dude, it's gonna be drone strikes from here on out, dude, and mech suits. Like, it's like, AI controlled robots. It's gonna be basically the fucking BattleBots fucking program. You send your big fucking autopilot tank, we drop fucking, autopilot jet runs of strafe runs. That's it. That's all they do. They don't fucking do shit, dude. They don't do shit in the military. And, soldiers ain't do shit, dog. But, moving on. Military, it'd be cool to have military grade weapons, though. It'd be really cool. And to be honest, I don't think that, the military should exist, right? I don't think the military should. I don't think any country should have a military now. I think we've evolved past war, that's just being a little bit frugal. I just believe that every person should have military grade equipment and weapons, Make it even the playing field. So if your government acts up, you got some shit in the trunk that you can pull up. That'd be nice. But back onto the subject of less government, right? We need less, because it feels like that, especially with people like Nancy Pelosi and Trudeau, and some of these guys that Trudeau talks to, this guy that wrote the book, The New World Order and shit. Like, these guys are not even making it like a challenge to find out what they really want. He wrote his own book, The New World Order. And the New World Order is like, all right, we're going to get everybody to rent shit. You're not going to own shit. Everyone, credit, your credit is going to be seen through everything. You're going to be able to apply for loans with how good your internet history has been. And if you jaywalked, it's going to affect your credit and all that shit. And you're going to be filmed 24/7 like it's right out of George Orwell's 1984. And they wrote this shit, a lot of it. And what my studio engineer, I was in the studio on last Sunday, we always talk about like the things that are like, he's real deep into the conspiracies, and he literally broke. I'm like, dude, there's no way that this is like he said that this Chris Rock Will Smith slap was staged. He said, because you know what happened right after it affected, here's the best thing, Pfizer came out with a drug for alopecia. And I was like, this could have been, Pfizer's great at just, promoting themselves. So they could have just said, okay, and when are we going to drop this drug? Right now, right? And then he got deeper into like, dude, like there's videos of them talking about this beforehand, and he got deep into like also that same night, you know, why like the what, I don't even know if it's like Kaiser, is it Kaiser, which is a really weird name for the guy trying to reset the world in this new world order. And I think his name is Kaiser Sosa or something. You know, Kaiser Sosa. Something. Name might be Adolf or something like that. But yeah, this guy, right? He's fucked. Like he literally sounds like a villain in a Bond movie. He seems fucking like the leftovers of what happened from Argentina, you know, Nazis, the hiding out of Nazis and shit. Some German guy that and really has a broad vision for the world, where we're all just gonna live in a pod, you know, and that we don't own, and we're gonna eat these plant-based materials, which is bugs. And the marketing already started. The marketing for eating fake meat started. The marketing for going like, why buying a house isn't that good to begin with. A lot of people, the weird thing is like Grant Cardone, you know, this 10X guy, it's fucking crazy. But he said like, yo, listen, I don't live in a house. I don't live in a house that I own. I rent. It's cheaper, you know. And I just thought about that, and I went like, dude, like he's got an investment property, you know, company. He's a property investment company. He's got nothing but like buying all these real estate like that. Yeah, that's fucking cool to like say that. But in reality, like the average person, I think, does want to buy a home because it's cheaper. You know, you want to, or not a home, or like buy your own property, either if it's a condo or a house or whatever. I'd live in a van too if I could. Buy a van, one of those RVs and shit. But the average person wants that, right? Like, it's kind of weird that they're trying to market like just renting forever is a good thing. That's going to be a hard spin. But again, I thought it was going to be a hard spin to try to get people to take a vaccine. 2 years ago, I was telling people, I'm like, dude, the vaccine's going to fucking kill you, dog. And it you know, I was misinformation. We'll be honest. What I said was misinformation, and I take full responsibility for that. But it is weird that they stopped at 5 years old for getting the vaccine. It's supposed to be safe for everybody. Huh? 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 Think about it. Huh? It is weird that a lot of fucking children started having heart attacks. Huh? I'm just saying, that's a weird coincidence that did happen, right? It is weird that me and my homie that both got vaccinated never felt the same, as opposed to our actual homies that did not get vaccinated, and they're like, man, I feel the same. With all of this stuff, I think it created a weird place for people, because we'll get back onto my studio engineer guy. You know, this guy, he seems like he's deep in it. He's deep in unvaccinated. He's deep in like, the world is fucked. It's going to shit. You know, they're trying to fuck over people so that no one owns anything. And I just go like, with that whole Will Smith thing is a distraction. The things in Ukraine and Russia is a distraction to him. And I go like, I get it. It could be. And I don't even, because I used to think that everything was a government psyop, right? But I also now realize, because I'm reading this book actually, and I'm like, fairly deep, a couple hundred pages into it. This Area 51 book, and a lot of it, like especially with Area 51, with the secrets and everything that they go through, a lot of it explains in great details just human error, just the average, like things like Roswell, were mistakes. Like they throw the weather balloons and shit for to like it was almost like to test. I don't even know. They were doing like weird tests in the desert of nuclear bombs. So they'd have these flashes and these lights, and people would ask questions, and then they would just go in and go like, hey, "Listen," they'd just pay people off. That's all they did. They just paid people off. They were like, "Hey, listen, don't talk about this nuclear bomb dropping right beside your guys' house. Here's some money." That's what they did, and to be honest, it's shocking how fucking ridiculous. Like a lot of these government facilities and secret fucking faculties operated. A lot of them like they had like pure luck. A lot of them like when they were dropping bombs, they had no idea. Like when they fucked around with Hiroshima, they had no idea how it was going to be that big. The impact alone, they dropped. I think that they dropped a bomb on the test facility and wiped out everything. They wiped out everything. They needed a guy to go in there. They needed a guy to go in there before the radiation hit the actual facility to fucking clear out some desks and get, keep patrol and keep all the fucking information backed up. It was a weird fucking thing, and to read about, it's like how well can their plan go? How well can the guys at the top have their... Because every plan gets fucked up. I don't care who you are. Every plan gets deviated. Life happens. Random occurrences. Like, I'm really hoping the Bible is correct when they say the meek shall inherit the earth. Like, because I feel like the rich people are so far down this weird road. Like, whatever the hell Elon Musk's doing, whatever the hell Bill Gates is doing, whatever the hell fucking Jeff Bezos is doing, these rich guys, and then all of the secret people around them, the secret elites around them, like the Google guy or whatever, whoever it is, the YouTube owner, whoever it is, all those guys that, behind the scenes, I don't see them walking to a grocery store. I don't see them like, because I feel like that to them, they would just say, assistant, get me some fucking a bag of chips or whatever, right? I don't see them being in society. I don't see them being a member of society. So that's why I think that they gotten so far isolated in their own realm of being rich, incredibly rich, that they have no idea how to interact with humans on a personable level. And I mean everyday humans, not this weird elite shit. But it's like they're always trying to control us. In this, like, life is good. Life is really good. But at the same time, we're still the sheep being led into this weird depict. It's like, choose left or right. And at the end of the day, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. It's all things that make you anxious. Maybe you feel good at first. Almost like a drug. You feel good to join a side. You feel good to be a part of something. You got the bumper stickers. You lock her up, or I stand with her, or whatever it is. And even though it's Sleepy Joe, it's either Sleepy Joe Biden pointing at gas prices saying I did that, it's bumper stickers, or the Kamala Harris Biden 2024, whatever. Pick your poison. But either way, there's these sides that get people divided. And I don't know, I think it was the Joe Rogan experience that I was talking about. The Joe, whoa, again. Shouts out to Joe Rogan, by the way. And he had someone on that was saying that all of this stuff is just to get people divided, because when a king sits upon his throne when he's with his queen and they're watching people, I think it might have been Joe Rogan, they're watching people out in the kingdom, and they got their high rise castle, and they're watching everybody get along. And that worries them, because when the people unite, they start to look at outside things. It's the hierarchy. If you're fairly well off with food, shelter, and clothing, you advance to worry about the next problem, which is, either a higher sense of purpose. And once you've evolved past this, you start to look for certain things in your psychological need. You got love, or all, like I won't dive into that, but if you get deep enough into being satisfied with yourself and your community, and you have an open dialogue discussion with your community, you tend to start to think like, well, maybe the powers that be should do more for what we already figured out. And no king wants to be. No king wants to. No ruler, ruling class, oligarch. No one wants to take orders from the public for some reason. We're the people that make up the society, but no one gives a fuck. Like, cause I've done surveys about certain shit. Like, by the way, guys, we got bad potholes. Can city council do something, please? The potholes are so bad in my city that these potholes are so bad. I seen a goose sitting in a pothole, and cars were driving by, and the goose was just ducking down. That's how it housed a family of geese. That's how bad these potholes are. These potholes are so bad. I seen a bunch of possums. I seen possums giving birth in potholes. Potholes so bad. I seen a car just completely demolished. Like, it was like the wheel alignment was off to the side. It was like the wheels and suspension and everything, the whole system. I'm not a car guy. The whole fucking wheels and the axles off to the here, and the car is here. The car was straight forward, but the wheels were the wheels were off to the side. Right. That's how bad the potholes are in my city, and they ain't do shit, dude. I message. I say I would like to, some sort of like system, or like reward system. Maybe give these guys some pay raises that fill potholes. Please do something. And they didn't say shit, dude. They didn't say shit to me. They didn't say, and we're gonna get back to you. They said the standard AI came back and said, thank you for your opinion. We value the as a member of the community. They didn't do shit, dude. They didn't even give us raises, dude. We work. Our union ain't even give us raises. We're supposed to go on strike soon enough. It's fucking ridiculous how fucking shitty the elites are treating us. Like, almost like we're dog shit, right? Does it feel like pick us up at least? A lot of motherfuckers pick up this shit, bro. I feel like the most the elites can ask for is that the people don't unite. The people don't get together and really think about what's going on. The left, the right, that's a fucking farce. There's no such thing. The parties, none of that is existing. It's me and you, people. There's everyday people. And when our government isn't doing what's right for us, especially in the last 2 years, especially coming out of the pandemic, especially when they jacked up the prices as soon as everybody got back to work to force people into working more. I have to do overtime. My fucking company, and this is the biggest company, I'll name drop it, it's Coca-Cola. They ain't paying me to say this, they're paying me to work. But biggest company in the world didn't give pay raises to the people. We didn't get shit, dude, this year. We didn't get nothing. It's just the same old, and they're supposed to go on strike with our union, especially because everything got jacked up. But you know what increased instead of our wages? The amount of time and work that needs to be put in. So we're trying to hire people, but with that comes more overtime. And you know what? It's forced overtime. They say this, it's forced overtime. So you're not even supposed to question the overtime. You're supposed to do it. And it's fucking kind of getting ridiculous. It's getting to a point where I might join this Reddit anti-work thing. You guys hear about that shit? Fucking Reddit had this idea, like forum or whatever. It's the forum. These guys on Reddit have this idea that anti-work. Work sucks. The way that people are treated, and you just quit. And I don't know what happens to those guys. What happens to the guys that just leave their job and have no real motive? They're like, they always talk about how, like, oh yeah, I'm traveling the world and this and that. But like, where does the money come from? Do you just live with 60% of your wages and think that's good? Because I don't know. I would like more money, but at the same time, it does feel like there's a cap on my salary or my job or whatever, my year to year. But every year I can put in more work and get more money. It's like it's this dead end cycle of putting in more work to get more money, when in reality I could just sit back, laugh, have a pay cut, but it would be steadily increasing every fucking year anyways, off of like EI or welfare, whatever, his government assistance, whatever, and just work on my dreams and my goals, which will also ultimately fulfill that higher need of what I need in my psychological needs. It would be nice. It would be nice to fucking say fuck work and join the anti-work Reddit. It would be cool, just sitting back, being a piece of shit, for sure. Fat Thor, call it Fat Thor. I'd pull up, with a beer gut and just, talk, drink all day, smoke all night, do nothing, And in the pandemic has given me a really good excuse when I'm being lazy to just not do shit. As far as like people go, like, hey, come out to this club. No, yeah, it's pandemic. I'm still scared. Just collect my check. Tell the mail. Still washing my mail too. Could you imagine who's still washing their mail out there? Is there motherfuckers out there still like super fucking paranoid? Because I think there is for sure. China. No, is it China? Is it Beijing? I don't know if it's Beijing or Shanghai. It might even be Tokyo. I don't know. But these Asians out there, they got drones surveilling the city because they're still having another wave of a pandemic, right? And they're really controlling the fuck out of their citizens. Like if the drone spots somebody outside, the drone will say like danger, get back in, whatever, it's spit something like that. And it's like, yo, this is like out of some fucking sci-fi shit, right? Like they patrol the streets with drones because people are so scared of a disease that might have a 1% chance of killing people that have two or more comorbidities. And you just gotta think to yourself, after everything's all said and done, was it worth it for the and I'm talking just specifically the rich people? For sure it's worth it. For sure the rich are like, dude, yeah, let's have another pandemic, because like, yo, we turned our billions to trillions easy. But for the average person, right? The average person at home, being the I'm fully vaccinated, tweets, put in your Tinder bio, I'm fully vaccinated. And if you're not vaccinated, swipe left. Like, for the average person that said, this is a pandemic that's affecting us all, so if you guys comply, it'll go, those types of people. We're talking specifically the people that preach the same rhetoric that the government's preaching. You're looking at home, you might think that these people are normal. You work with them. These are the people that you work with. These are the people that maybe even in your close friend group, people that you see out on the bar, And they start talking a little bit loud and say, you know what, well, at least it's better than that asshole Trump or whatever. Those types of people. They're just happy with whatever's going on right now. No matter who's in charge, they're appreciative of their overlords, right? Those types of people, the people that they just cycle like, hey, listen, guys, it's a pandemic. Just take the medicine that they give you, guys. You're not doing your part. My mom has become one of those people, which is sad. My mom, through this pandemic, she got her shots and her boosters, and she literally made me feel bad for my decision not to, until I had to with my work and everything. She made me feel like it was, because I ultimately I did probably make her feel bad, because I was making fun, oh, she got the vaccine. I'd say, you got the vaccine, your heart's gonna fucking, your heart's gonna be out of rhythm, and shit like that. And then she'd say, well, what you had, you got no vaccine, like, you might get me sick. That's what you're gonna get me sick and everything like that. So is on a level of like division, it hit me and my mom, like, right, like, as far as this whole experience of 2 years and just coming out of it. But those types of people, like that, now that everything is like out in the open, a lot of what came out, gain of function research, where it originated, the fucking health precautions of the vaccine, and what natural immunity would do, ultimately be better than the vaccine. All of these things I was saying to, literally to my boss, and my boss was like, well, you got to do it. You got to do it. What can I say? I don't make the rules. And there's no person that doesn't make the rules that you could talk to in person, because if you did, you could poke so many flaws, so many holes in their ideals. You could point out so many of their flaws in these laws that get passed. Like, everybody has to get the vaccine, because again, it was literally for 3 months, right? Count January, February, March, yeah. Right around March, they just said, fuck it, dude. They're just like, no more rules, no more restrictions and everything. And it's like, bro, like, so 3 months I just had to hold out for this shit? Like really? Like, was it, you guys folded that quick? Like, as far as the term of bullshit that you guys have, you could have at least did, like a 6-month stint. Double that shit. You put in the effects on January, and on March you folded. And to be honest, with the truck drivers going down into Canada, and the guys protesting, and then you started freezing their bank accounts. Remember that happened. Don't let that shit happen. Don't let that shit happen when you go unchecked. Government, like, I said, fuck it. This year, I'm not paying fucking taxes, dude. Fuck them. All the money I claim. I'm not claiming it, dude. Just fuck it, dude. And if they want to audit me and, take me to court and tell me, hey, listen, you got all these investment accounts. What's with that? I just go, I don't know. I'm still safe, social distancing, and, wearing a mask. Hey, listen, we got to provide, we need some ID recognition from, I'm wearing a mask, dude. Wearing a mask. You can't identify me. We just need to know where you live. Sorry, I've seen a lot of scams lately. I don't trust it. The government told me to watch out for scams in the mail. You're telling me to file this and put this there. I don't feel comfortable giving you guys my SIN. We're the literal government. We're trying to figure out. Sorry. And they don't do shit, dude. They don't say shit when when you tell them, like, yeah, listen, we need to assess your account, but first we gotta prove your identity, and it's always over the phone, right? So all you do is just go, dude, I don't feel comfortable. I think this is a scam, and they go, no, we're literally the government. You go, yeah, that's what they all say. Quick. Imagine just like, just that on that level of not trusting the government. And it's the little government knocking at your door, and you go, dude, I'm not answering that. Not answering that. What, so you can come in and home invade me? Yeah, the old, we're the government, the water meter trick. Oh, we're just here to check your, bam, knocked out, tied up, and all my stuff's gone, dude. Nah, not again. Dude, what could they do? They can't not, like, if you're so paranoid about bad things happening to you, especially the way the media makes shit out to be. Couldn't you just like avoid paying taxes because you're so paranoid? Like, it's like, dude, the government would have let me know personally. And it's like every day they're trying to tell you that you owe the money. It's just fucking stupid. I could imagine that the average person though is so far removed from being comfortable that it's starting to affect their social life. It's started, because me, man, I do not want to go to the club. I never did though before. Every now and then, yeah, it's fine. Every now and then I'll put on the shoes and put on my dancing, my boogie shoes, and just dance the night away. But I think now specifically, like, I don't even want to go to like concerts or anything like that. Because it did have an effect on me, to be honest. And I was always like one of these I hate people, but now more so than ever. It's almost like it solidified who personality, like this pandemic, the old pandy, if you will, the old good old pandy. This pandy has been a strain for so many people, but it really showed the true colors. Because I know a lot of people on Facebook, right? Yeah, I got so many friends on Facebook. I probably have the most amount of friends on Facebook. Let's just throw that out there. Number one viewed Facebook in the world. That's the URL. Check it out. Check out my number one viewed. It just is what it is. But I digress. The pandemic has been so hard, and it really showed the true colors to some people. Like, some people that I've seen post on Facebook is like literally like, hey, please hang out with me, like, and these are like very like I thought they were normal people, right? And it's like, hey, listen, guys, all you have to do is follow the arrows on the ground at the grocery store. It's not that hard. It's like, yo, and I thought these guys were cool. I thought these people, and I feel so bad because they're just a product. It's like, it's a sheep that is scared from the dog. Now, the dog doesn't inflict any harm per se, but you can get two sheep to run into each other if you're the sheepdog. And a lot of the time it's two people that follow the narratives way too much. It feels like the people that are going through shit ultimately have so much shit to go through all the time. They'll always, if you can find shit, you can go through it, and you can repeat, rinse, recycle and repeat. And I feel like, it's gotten to a really ridiculous point, and I can only imagine how they're gonna push this new world order even further, where it's like there's gonna be people preaching on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram, like, all you have to do is sleep in a pod. That's it. Hook yourself up to Neuralink, and you're in the metaverse bouncing around. Life's good. I mean, you don't need to own shit. You got all your NFTs and digitally. You got all your shit. You got all the fucking the WhatsApps and stuff. I'm getting old. How am I getting this fucking old? Oh my god! I was trying to think of something other than an NFT. You know, the cryptocurrencies. You got all this fake money, and you got all this other shit, right? And you should just be happy with what you got, which is nothing but a pod. You got a pod. You're gonna have a pod, and for the 16 after the 16 hours, you wake up, you eat some fucking, some cockroach burgers, made strictly from plant based. It's not even what the fuck does plant based mean? It's based on plants. Like, just call it a plant burger. Right? This is a leaf burger. You got instead of getting, burger with lettuce, you got 2 pieces of lettuce. That's what the fuck a plant burger is. A plant-based, and even then, a plant-based, is it just the dirt in the base of the plant? It's just the dirt? You're just giving us dirt now? You're going to eat the bugs and you're going to be happy. That's what the government, but there's going to be people going, on social media going like, it's all you have to do is live in a pod. You don't have to think that much, guys. There's going to be people like, listen, cockroaches are actually way more healthier than real meat. It sounds ridiculous now, but with the Weekend Show 2.0, this we gonna see the future. We talk about current events back in the day. Now, fuck it, I'm gonna do future events, and the future event, and we started with a couple of the old school predicting what the Oscars are gonna be, at the podcast last few weeks. What the Oscars are gonna be is just gonna be a wild and out show. They're just gonna have award shows where they're just wilding out because it works so well with Will Smith and Chris Rock. With this whole new world order, I think the first thing that could happen, which you could see as a break in mental health, I think once people slowly get out of this, we slowly get back to normal, there's going to be another break in mental health. And the first thing is going to be like, well, that's crazy. Because remember, the first thing with the pandemic remember in November 2019? Remember that shit? We were looking on the news like, China's got this crazy virus that, people say we should be worried about. And then you see some people breaking. And then the people that are first to break are usually the people that know what's going on. Those people are like, yo, we really gotta fucking get hunker down, get ready, and stop fucking spreading your germs and shit. And they sounded crazy, right? They're like, people like, dude, I'm not gonna wash my hands when I take a piss. Fuck that. That's what, dude. Fuck that. I'm gonna rub my balls on this microphone, right? Like what that basketball player did. Just rubbed his nutsack all over that fuck. He's like, yo, Corona? Shit, it's all up in me. It's all up in there. And then, those guys are the fools of the world. But the people that were really worried at the beginning had some sort of merit in the sense that they seen what was going on. Now, were they led blindly? We don't know. We're not going to know. We'll probably never know, right? Was this orchestrated? Again, we'll never know. We probably... It's always impossible. But are they getting away with it? Yeah, kinda. They're getting away with it like elites do. But the best time is now because there's so much information out there. And a lot of people are breaking the news. Yeah, it might be these back channels. Yeah, it might get deleted. People take screenshots and share them individually on other sites. No big deal. It's interesting that we have the wherewithal to even know that it's created in a lab, or if it was, or if it wasn't. But it's weird that we know before the media gets to us, before the corrupted minds speak. A lot of people already go, listen, man, from young boys, the vaccine isn't that great for young boys. This is what it is. It's weird that we still have that rightful information dangling in front of us. And it's a thing of beauty, to be honest. It's beautiful that we still have an outlet. Like, here's why I think George Orwell was a fucking hack. He's a loser, dude. I mean, his whole book was about, and I never read it because it's hacky, dude. I don't want to fucking read some dude's prediction. I predict things. It's ruining my fucking psychic medium. But George Orwell, the reason why I call him a hack is because he was complete. Like, I don't think people go, he's right, is this and that. It's a surveillance of the system, and you're not told, you're not paid, you're paid to not think. The system runs where you ask the least amount of questions as possible. But I think that's human nature. I don't think that's specifically some overlord government. It's like most people, like, if given the opportunity, like, you'd go like, hey, would you want 50 G's a year? But you can't really ask what's going on behind the scenes in this company. You'd go like, okay, or you could get the fuck out and we'll tell you everything, but you're getting shit. That's like the options, for like these companies and shit. You go, I won't ask any questions and I'll take the money, right? Take the money and run. Because majority of people don't really care that much. Even if in the long run, this vaccine's bad, or there's this new world order for the people. All of this stuff's, evils, conspiracies. If you look around at the technology, you got the apps, you got all of this, you got all of this interesting and intricate technology dropped into your lap. You don't have to eat, or you don't even have to fucking go out to eat anymore. You just call out, hit that button. But actually, you don't even have to hit no calls no more. You fucking got the app and DoorDash or whatever, Uber Eats, skip the dish. You got all that stuff. You don't even have to look at the guy in the eyes, dude. You just tell him to drop it out the fucking door, and you say, Is he gone? He's gone? Okay, now we can go. You don't have to have any interaction with humans whatsoever, which is, it's interesting, and it's kind of fucking surreal, but it's, do you wake up and feel like you're actually in a George Orwell? Because people always throw that around, and I go like, no, you can walk outside in life. You could piss on the side of a building and you're not getting ticketed for the most part. You can go, I mean, there's not people fucking throwing you in jail for jaywalking, for real. My buddy got a ticket once, and but he's black, and in Vegas, right next to Cali. They get you on those things. But like, I go like, dude, like, it's not that bad. The cop was trying to fuck with you, $200, whatever. If and he always argues, my buddy always argues with the police and shit. But it's not like this totalitarian state that George Orwell said, especially because his book he wrote in like the 60s. Wrote that shit in the 60s, right? And he made it about 1984. And in 1984, dude, they ain't had shit, dude. They ain't have shit. His shit's fucked, bro. Like, if I made that prediction, again, if it was me with no merits and no credits, you guys would go, that's the fucking stupidest shit ever. The 80s was the most freeing time ever, dude. Everyone was on drugs. Let's just throw that out there. Cocaine was pumped into the fucking system. Motherfuckers are smoking crack. Literally, the government gave the people crack. Wasn't it Ronald Reagan era? Wasn't that shit? Wasn't it flooding crack through the 80s, dude? You know what I'm saying? So like, everybody was getting high, dude, off of the government. And it was like, So a lot of that shit, it was the freest time, I think, as far as drugs were concerned. 80s, 70s, and 80s. Then they slowed down in the 90s and banned it at the end of the 80s, I think. Something like that. But back on the point of how fucking hacky George Orwell. He's a bitch. This motherfucker. And I to be honest, I didn't even read the book, so maybe a lot of there's parallels into what's going on. But in reality, dude, like, the free speech is a thing that I think humanity will always have, no matter what. You know, when you're with your friends joking about something, man, fuck my boss. You know, my boss, you know what? My boss likes to suck cock, you know, but he just got a wife, so don't. That type of shit, you know, it's obviously, I don't just made it up. But that type of shit people talk. And they're always going to talk. And I think that's the biggest fear that the government has, is that people talk. Right? So, my homework for the week, I mean, this is the new weekend show. This is the weekend show 2.0. So my homework today for you, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? I'm excluding I'm including. Sorry, I don't want to exclude. I'm including, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary members of the LGBTQ 2 plus squared equals Y division. The whole branch of the LGBTQ community, everybody, ladies, gentlemen, and other. Go home today, after you watch this video, of course, after you like and subscribe, of course, after you did all of the, necessary actions to share this video, because it's the weekend show with 2.0. It's the brand new. After you watch this shit, go home, and talk to somebody. And I don't care who it is. I don't give a fuck who it is. Actually, I don't know your friends. I don't know who you interact with. It could be a new person at the street. Try this week, to just talk to somebody. And not even with any real regard for anything. You just hey, sports, because you got to get that social interaction up again. It's been a while, and people are dying to talk to each other. I talk to girls quite a bit, but I've slipped up my way of thinking. Like we've been masked up so long that when we take off the masks, you lost 2 years of like the social cues and the social development and speech patterns recognitions that your brain constantly processed. It just lost. So it's like a muscle. And I think that the best thing we can do is talk to each other, which the government fears this. The government fears the people talking. They're talking. Are they talking about us? We gotta monitor what they're talking about. And it's just people talking at the end of the day. And then the collapse of the government might be a lot easier than we think. Just a couple of guys with podcasts. a couple of dudes with podcasts. This is the one thing that's fucking Joe Rogan talking some shit with his buddies is like the downfall of mainstream media. It's actually hilarious. And to be honest, did George Orwell predict that shit? Like a fucking hack.